Hey guys, I'm Anando. So here's the thing. I'm thinking about starting my vlog. Well, it's a question that why I want to have a vlog. Well, definitely I'm influenced by a lot of other YouTube vloggers, but at the same time I feel like having a vlog may actually improve my life in the sense that how I view my life in general. I don't know whether I would like to call myself a complete extrovert versus a complete introvert. I'm probably both. One thing that I liked a lot, um, I forgot the name of the scientist who he had a TED talk where he says that happiness is something that we can create within ourselves. Definitely, we love to enjoy happiness which are random, which happens to us, not in a planned way. But what he argues about that you can actually make yourself happy. He calls it synthetic happiness, or you can call artificial happiness. Now, anything artificial we don't like because it's artificial, but what he argues that the natural happiness and artificial happiness can have the same effect on you depending on how you approach or how you think about about what is pleasing you, what is trying to make you happy. So let's say I'm just exploring myself to even validate that idea to myself. Why I'm talking about this, if I give a little bit of um, background. By the way, this is my new house. I am in United States now. It's my third country so far I have lived, and let me count. Like one, I lived in two cities in Bangladesh. That's where I was born, and 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 I was born in a northern city named Rangpur. Then I was born. Then I moved to the capital of Bangladesh. That's called Dhaka. I think most of the people don't even know where Bangladesh is. It's a small country. Now, I will tell my whole life story. I think I lived a very interesting life story, and I have a lot of stories to tell, and I think very inspiring stories. How I started, where I started, and then where I am now. Well, at least for me, I feel that I, in no way, I have predicted, like even 10 years back, that I would be here. And it's interesting that how life turns out, and not everything happens according to your expectation, but things happen. Definitely you have a trajectory that you can think that you may follow, and normally your expectation doesn't deviate, your future doesn't really deviate a lot like from your expectation. Sometimes it can be. well I mean maybe it's contradicting what I was saying, or isn't it? Well, I mean, I'm saying that you cannot say absolutely that what it's gonna be, but you, given enough present and past experience, you can say that what you are going to be. Like, I mean, if you have never done carpentry, I mean, you are never. It's more likely that you are never going to be a carpenter. But then, if you are studying psychology, I mean, it's more likely that maybe you will be a psychologist. If not psychologist, maybe some social work, or a therapist or something like that. You are not going to be a sportsman, right? I mean, that will be highly unlikely. I mean, maybe there are people who studied psychology and became a sportsman, but anyway, I mean, I was trying to talk about myself. I was trying to give you perspective where I am right now. I am in a small town which is called West Lafayette. I study at Purdue University. After Bangladesh, I moved to Japan. There's a whole big story, how I ended up in Japan and how I moved from Japan to United States, and that will be brought up later on. And so I mean, so I was talking about, because I'm starting to vlog, and I'm talking about why I am starting it, and I was talking about that vlogging, being being active and actively pursuing happiness, which may give the feelings that those are artificial happiness, those are not naturally happening, something from the external world onto me, rather than from my internal world. I'm seeking happiness. I'm doing things that I feel like may make me happy. I don't know whether you're understanding what I'm saying. I guess you do, if you had enough experiences in life. And so I'm saying that it's possible. I believe now that it's possible. If I want to be happy, if I want to project my happiness, and I want to project my internal state to the external world, to seek for not necessarily happiness, to seek for things that I want. And it's true that I'm always thinking, like everyone, like we're always thinking in our head, and even like, and those thoughts are not always linear. It's not like, it's just those thoughts are like popping in our heads and coming one after another, and and it's just some are receding, some are coming, and it's really hard to find to find out the reason why I exactly thought what I was thinking. I mean, these are interesting topics. Like when you introspect, you kind of like get boggled. But getting back to the same point again, that why I am starting to vlog, because I think probably this will be the most interesting or most honest most thing to say, is that I want to be honest with myself. Sometimes uh, sometimes I kind of deceive myself, I mean, what I mean by that is, sometimes I don't know what I want. Things that I wanted are meaningless to me now. Things that I never wanted are meaningful to me now, because we ourselves change, right? So over time we change, our expectations change, our experiences change. Not necessarily it changes, um, this for everyone is not the same degree. Not everyone gets influenced that much, and lot of but as far as I know about myself, I mean, I think I'm very open, and things interest me, and it sometimes gets really hard for me to uh, really define myself. And and that's me, and exploring me, knowing thyself, if I saying that way, is something I'm trying to do. um, I mean, I am greedy. I am sometimes not. I can be a selfish asshole, then I can be someone very selfless. But I have reasons, and those reasons change depending on the moment, on those moments I am acting. And it would be interesting to see, like, how um, for example, Facebook. Let's say, I mean, I still use Facebook. I'm probably one of the few people, like few early Facebook users, I would say. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of the kids these days. Well, by the way, I mean, I am 29, so so think about Facebook. A lot of the people who now use Facebook didn't even know about Facebook when I started using Facebook. I mean, I'm not taking any pride or anything, it's just that I was exposed to these technologies when that was my generation, you know. I mean, like when I was 18, 19, I'm seeking like internet and everything, and a lot of the people who are active on the Instagram, Snapchat, or YouTube, everywhere, I mean, they didn't even know those things existed, like when I knew. Well, I mean, I'm maybe it may sound a little bit condescending, I'm sorry, but that's true. So I mean, getting back to the point is that sometimes these things, and a lot of people don't like social networks, and because uh, I think it's always good to have your own world. And sometimes what happens is that sometimes the social arena where you act, for example, when I am talking to someone else, let's the next person, or with my friend, when I'm talking, so when you're communicating with another person, it's you're formulating your thoughts uh, according to what that person may like or not, but you will be behaving in a certain way versus for example, if I wouldn't be vlogging right now, the things that I would think versus that I'm vlogging now, the things that I'm thinking are different. So what happens is that if someone who is using Facebook a lot, or YouTube, or who are YouTubers, or other things, like if those activities over encompass your life in an overwhelming way, um, you kind of, maybe there's a possibility that you lose touch with your own inner self, and you're always being out there for your audiences. and and some would argue that it's not healthy, and I think it's not. um, uh, and but completely complete inwardness is also probably not not is very unhealthy too, because all in here can be crazy. I mean, if you are not validating your ideas, things that you are thinking, because those things are also coming from, the thing is, things are coming from outside, but they're being processed inside. Thoughts are occurring inside, but those those occurrences are being influenced by the external factors. So there needs to be a feedback loop between the internal world and the external world, and and just living with one is um, not is not a good idea. So what, coming back to the Facebook, Instagram, and everything, what I feel like, the reason I mean, what I mean that I think I want to have a healthy balance of it, and it's hard, because it's hard. That's why it can be confusing. And I mean, what is balance? I mean, balance. I'm talking about individual balance. I'm not saying there should be a general thing that how many hours you should use it, or everybody should use it. I'm not talking about a general rule for everyone. I'm talking about it should be dependent on that individual, and that's why it's hard, and that's why people, even me, I lose the balance. And um, anyway, so, but one thing I like about um social media is that um, you can see things that you have done. It's just a record. For example, I cannot say exactly what I did with my mom, like when I was 5. Those memories blurred have been blurred, and it would be nice actually. And that's why the timeline in these social networks, like in Facebook, even though sometimes it's annoying that what I have done, there are some things I don't want to know that Facebook shows me that I have done like years before, but there are some things that I like about that. It's just like a journal of your life. And not, I think it's very important that we forget things. I mean I mean I don't want to remember a lot of things, but at the same time, there are things that you want to remember, and there should be a way to keep them rememberable. And I think Facebook and other social medias, they are helpful in that way, that they you can keep things that you want to remember, like significant things in your life. And so I am viewing my vlogging or daily vlogging, if I do, I don't know. I have this consistency problem. I am interested in things, then I lose interest in things, and I hope I'm not, because I also have a blog. You can read my blog too. It's experienceandembrace.wordpress.com. And anyway, so coming back to the point is that my take on being active in social media is that you want to have an act you want to have a healthy relationship between your internal world and your external world, the things that you want to share with people and things that you want to learn from other people through your interaction. Um, and um, I am also against the idea about sharing like each and everything of my life to my audiences, but like keeping some privacy. And but at the same time, there are things that I would like to share there. But I mainly am interested in talking about my experiences from the point of view. I mean, I would be happy if my experiences, people, some of you or people can relate to my experience, and that's inspiring for me. But because sometimes you feel very lonely in this world, and sometimes the things you do, um, you want to relate to someone else, and if you find someone who is relatable, that's interesting. And that is expanding. And I think uh, the years that we live, it should I we should be able to learn from each other through interactions in a healthy, positive way, and that's how I am viewing. So I hope I am clear why I am starting to kind of like keeping my daily activities, things that I'm thinking, things that I'm doing. Um, well, you see these plants, these are my roommates' plants, and we'll talk more. And I hope you'll have fun.